hello.
Oh,
Holy mackerel. All right. Oh, there you go.
no,
Imagine
yeah, there,
that's
just for a minute,
everybody.
and then you can come over here.
That is
See the best
fantastic.
friends.
I think we're live. I don't know if we beamed out here from the Baltic Sea quite yet, but we jumped on here to get live to say hi. And I don't know, we had a little bit of a development. Um,
So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
We got back from
well,
Port today.
Sharon, let's let a few people maybe join in.
Okay.
Let's see what happens, see if anybody joins in on the deal. And then we can go from there. You know, I'm thinking really quickly, maybe I should grab the microphones.
Oh, that might be a
Might be
good
easier.
idea.
You want to sit tight?
Sure.
See who shows up and say hi. We'll be right
Okay.
back.
It is going to be
Oh.
full, so
Oh, let's see who I see. Hi, Kelly. Kelly from Boston. Hi, Russman. Sorry, it's really hard to see. The sun is really. Dave and Brandy, are you breaking her? Well, we're trying not to, but right now we're not so sure. We're having, it's like some trouble. I think one of the engines is down. We may have hit something earlier. We'll give you some details in a little bit here. Hi, Kimberly. The Salt Life Cruising, hello. Ranger Rick, hello.
Dave Whiting, how dare you? We did not break the pride.
Hey, we did not break her. She has been great this whole cruise until today. So, but she's still great. Hey, hey Candace. Hey Janetta. Jeanette. Oh, sorry, I can't see this. Jamie, hello.
Jamie, are you talking to me?
Not you, Jamie. Another Jamie.
Here, put this on your jacket somewhere real quick.
Hello,
If you would, please.
Richard.
What's going on, everybody? Great to see you. Hold on, I'm gonna try to plug us in here and get a little better audio. So let me know if this works real quick. Now you hear us. Now you hear us like
Yeah.
this.
Plus, we're on the balcony, and any minute we could have some people on either side come out and start chatting.
That's right, guys.
And
Let us
you'll
know.
hear
Can
their
you see us,
conversation.
Shane? And can you hear us? I know that we're on the Wi-Fi here on the cruise ship, and we just put on some microphones. So let us know. Hello, hello, hello. We'll wait to see if anybody comments if they can see us and hear us. But first off, we want to check in and say hey. But also, we've got a development here, and we figured we'd share it with you. Okay, Dave Brady said that sounds better. Okay, perfect.
Oh, okay, good.
Excellent. That sounds a lot better. So, all right, Sharon, I mean,
Well,
how do you want to start this? We're sitting there at dinner. We're all at
Yeah.
dinner. We're in the aft dining room.
And it's kind of funny. So we have your time dining, but every night we've had the same dining table and dining staff. And we have the perfect aft table. It's right by the windows, and it's dead center, so we can see the lake, and it's just perfect. And all of a sudden tonight at dinner, we're about halfway through dinner maybe, I
Yeah.
don't know, and all of a sudden we hear this big, like, it just felt like we hit something right under us.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden we got a bunch of grinding noise and roaring, and it was
Yeah.
just really bad.
about
And
15 seconds ago.
yeah, about 15 seconds or so. And then all of a sudden, it's almost like we sort of slowly started to stop. Then there was a little more grinding here and there, and then another stop. And
You
then
can see the
since,
wake
Yeah.
slowly dissipate. And
Yeah.
then
Yes, Matthew
Yeah.
giving us a little bit of info because he was really, really in tune with what was going on.
so then it kind of went on. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, what happened? You know?
Well, it was enough. It was enough that every person in the dining room stopped and was looking around and was taking a look, and people in the back area were like looking out the windows and stuff like that. What's up, Russ, man? We're on the Carnival Pride right now, and we're actually in the Baltic. To
Yeah.
set it up even more, we just left the port of Kiel in Germany at about 4 o'clock our time today. Right now, it's what time?
It's 9 p.m. here.
It's 9
right now.
p.m. here where we are, and this was at about 6:50 or so that this whole thing started. So like Sharon said, all of a sudden we're cruising along, everything's great. And
Yeah.
it was alarming, and we've been on a lot of cruises, and we never
Yeah.
felt
And
anything
we're
like
like,
that before.
wow, it's like we hit something. Not sure what, but it felt just like we hit something.
Yeah.
And the dead stop. And then since then, there's just like we started going a little bit, then it stopped. We started kind of listing and slowly turning and just kind of floating, just
Dave and Brandy are devastated out there.
multiple things. Anyways, right now we're at a dead stop again. but they've been, said the captain finally came on a little while ago and said that they've had some trouble with the engines that's affecting our speed, and
Well, they
they're,
didn't say
Hold on,
anything.
but
wait.
they're, well,
He said the ship is having issues
Well-
that are affecting
well, yeah.
our cruising speed.
that's right, not.
And our
not
technicians are looking at it,
right now.
and right now we'll let you know. And what we've been doing is, Matthew has a maritime page pulled up on his phone, and we've been tracking the ship. So
Yeah.
basically, we began heading from Kiel, going to Gothenburg,
this side.
Sweden, and then all of a sudden that all happened, and then we stopped, floated a little bit. Then shortly after that, we found ourselves heading back,
To Kiel.
turned around, heading back to Kiel again. Then all of a sudden, hey Matthew, what's up, buddy? And then okay, if you talk, try to make sure you're close to this. And then all of a sudden, the ship started kind of zipping along a little bit, and all of a sudden you could see the wake rate again. And then, but it was very uneven wake. One side was more aggressive than the other, and then finally, the ship slowed down again, and then spun around again and headed the other way. And now we've just been kind of sitting here
Yeah.
and just kind of rotating out here at sea. We're kind of
Floating in
between.
circles.
Matthew, we're between what, like Denmark?
Denmark. Well, we were kind of in between two Danish islands. And
Okay,
then
so-
we started going back towards Kiel, then we turned away from Kiel a little bit shortly, back towards Kiel, and then now we're facing just sort of back towards the Danish islands there.
Yes.
I will say
Thank
this,
you, Don.
I will say this too, if you want to look at the ship for yourself, you can go to the website I'm using, marinetraffic.com. Just zoom in on like,
Hold on. Let me get you in here, buddy.
zoom in, you can try and find the Carnival Pride in the Baltic Sea, just like in between Germany and Denmark by those islands there. Just click on a couple, the blue arrows there, one of them is ours. And then you can, if you want, you can look at like the routes, the past route, and it shows you like what the ship's been doing in the last couple hours or so. And so
Yeah, I
if you
think
wanna
some of
take a
it's
look
like color
yourself-
coded, like the speed, and if it's red, that means it's not moving at all. If
Yeah.
it's green, it's going at a good clip. And so we've been anywhere from 7 to 8 knots. We were at 4 knots a little bit ago. Now I believe we're just kind of sitting out
Just
here.
kind of floating
And right
along
now we
here.
have we have no knots. We have not knots as the moment right now.
Yeah.
And that's how it's going. Cruise flight attendant, what's up? We're on the Carnival Pride. That's right, we're on the Carnival Pride out here. We're on our Baltic cruise. Again, it's about 9 o'clock at night here where we are.
Tomorrow we're actually supposed to be in, it's our last port day tomorrow, and we're supposed to be in Gothenburg. Gothenburg, sorry.
Gothenburg.
So I really highly doubt that we're going to make it there. So we're just kind of waiting to see what is going on and what happens. We may end up with another sea day. We may end up going to another port
Who
for
knows?
them to do some repairs or something. Yeah, we're just waiting to hear what's going to be going on.
Yeah, so it's a little bit wild, and I don't know, there's something exciting. You know, we missed talking to you guys. We didn't do our Monday night live show because it's so late at night. We would have to go live at 3 in the morning here in order to do it at the same time that we would normally do it.
We have been
On a
going like
Monday.
nonstop with all these ports, trying to see as much as we can. And I don't know, we are like literally exhausted. I mean, one day, I think, was it, what day was it, Matthew? We walked, it was the day we were in Helsinki, I think it was. We walked 24,000 steps that day. Like we've been walking.
It's
Well,
funny, we
well,
walked
I'll say-
24,000 steps and I'm still gaining a lot of weight on this cruise. I don't know
Well, I'll
why.
say about the steps, it might have to do with like if it tracks you on the ship, then it
Yeah.
might count the ship moving as a step or something.
Well, this
too.
was off the ship for the most part, though,
Yeah,
in the
but
port.
so-
Listen, just
it
let
could
your
be
mother
inaccurate.
enjoy her 24,000 steps.
Hey,
Don't take that away from her. She's enjoying that.
like,
So I mean, listen, we're not trying
Yeah.
to fake out that there's some dire situation or anything
we
like
just
that.
thought since all this has been going on, and so we're not sure what's going on tomorrow, and we're just kind of hanging out, after dinner, we're like, hey, we'll go live. We didn't go live last night, so we'll go
So we
live.
figured, what the heck? And what an opportunity to stop and tell you guys about what's going on.
Yeah.
And
And
not
some
even
people
something
may
that we
hear
made
about
up.
it, and then they know we're on the ship, so we figured we'd,
Yes.
you
Stephanie
know what's
Davies said,
going
hope you'll travel safely and we
Uh,
get you some compensation. Well, compensation is the least of our work.
yeah,
We just want to make sure that we're heading the right way and that
Yeah.
everyone's safe and
it's definitely
sound. So
how's Matthew liking the trip? He is loving the trip. He is
Yes.
having a great time.
Julie tells us, oh, wow, that's a little, disconcerting. Well, I mean, listen, I'll tell you what, we were more worried about it before the captain made the announcement than when he finally came on and made one.
Yeah,
And I did see the comment about it. At least he made an announcement
yeah,
like on the
and
Costa
we kind of
Concordia.
had an idea that something was going on like that. At first, some people were saying, oh, it could be a medical emergency, it could be this, could be that. But, we're okay.
Speculation
We-
was running wild earlier.
Yeah.
We had everything imaginable in our heads as to what might be
You know how
happening.
people are, they say one thing and then they go with it and then they
Yeah.
Oh,
get
yeah.
passed
Couple
along and it
different
turns
rumors
into.
out there.
I jumped on the Facebook group for this cruise, just the public Facebook group, and there were a couple different theories going on, and one person saying everything's fine, we're going the right way now, another person saying no, we're not, we turned back to Kiel, and right now, I don't know, Matthew, you got
Yeah,
an
no,
update
it's
for
funny
us?
looking at like all these posts, like the people in the they think they know what they're talking about. One person says, "Oh, we're going to Kiel." One person says, "Oh, this is just practice, like for something." I'm like, wait, what? Nobody knows what's going on except the captain, engineers, and some high-ranking officers and staff.
You would think so. And maybe the casino people, because they got to know what's going on there. David and Aaron, great to see you guys. Hope you're both doing well. Lovely to have you here. And I think Sharon actually, she volunteered to put on a wetsuit and go underneath the ship and take a look and see what's happening.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
Ben, no, we're not on that cruise, but thanks very much for asking. Could be worse. Goodyear, Arizona weather's 109 today. That's all. 109 piece of cake.
I saw somewhere I read some posts where, I don't know, maybe coming up in the next few days, said something about it's going to be 118. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God, I'm glad.
Oh no, well, Stephanie, you are not being shallow at all. Don't worry about it. Listen, we're not here. We're not here to say give you our last testament or anything
Oh,
like that.
no.
Everything's
That was,
cool.
I mean, if we miss that port, we'll still be perfectly happy.
Yes, we've
with
had an
everything.
amazing time on this cruise.
We've been to probably the ports that we were more interested in seeing. So,
Well, on
we're
top
good.
of that,
We're good.
we had a wild time today. I mean, I don't know how much you want to talk about it because we do have some blogs that'll be coming out.
Yeah.
But let's just say today's plans.
We had to go to
got-
Plan B.
We had to go to Plan B because of what was initially told to us
Oh
to
my
be a
gosh.
fire that had to do with
Yeah.
the train line that later Matthew found out had to do with
Well,
Matthew, what did you find out? Not
well,
too
yeah, so I did.
Well,
I
that
did-
was at the Hamburg train station.
Hamburg trains sent to Central Station. There was an issue with they were telling us that there was a fire at the station.
So they,
I looked it up. I didn't see anything yet getting posted like articles. Once we arrived in our other destination, though, I don't know if we want to say where we went
Yeah.
instead, but yeah, or no.
It doesn't matter. Just go ahead and give the story.
So instead we went to Lubeck in Germany, nearby. It's kind of a similar city in terms of its history, but pretty much in Lubeck, when we were getting off the train as we were arriving, I looked online. I only saw one article about it. It was like a more local German thing, sort of, but it was reporting that there was some sort of World War II era bomb that was from something from that time that was found, and they had to safely detonate it.
And it was close to the railway,
It was close.
railway or
It was
something.
described in the article as being close to like a suburban railway, so I can only assume that it was on the line that led into Hamburg Central Station.
Maybe. I don't know, but it was whatever really happened or whatever the bottom line was.
Yeah.
and
Or maybe
more
there was
info
a
will come
fire
out.
in that. It was just, I don't
Yeah.
know. But,
All I know is the guy that was at the ticket office said,
we
listen,
weren't able to make it
there's
Hamburg.
there's a fire, and he said, you could try to go, but it's very risky and you may not make it back. And since we needed to, sorry, not to block you again. And since we did need to make it back to Kiel to get
We had to
back
go
on
to
the
Plan
cruise ship, we had to go to Plan B. And even with Plan B, we barely made it back on the ship.
We were literally, there was one guy, and then
What
the
is he?
cruise director, and someone that was with
I
the
think
cruise director
there
after
was
that.
one more couple after the
Yeah,
final guy.
And that was it. We
So-
were almost peer runners today.
Hello, Neil Drucker. Thank you, buddy. Hope you're. He said he's enjoying all the pictures and videos and stuff like that. Vera Wyndham, next year's our Europe cruise, which I think is going to be a yearly occurrence now, because that's how much we've been
We
enjoying this.
have been loving it. In fact, we're gonna probably, when I get home, book another one to go alongside.
So
maybe,
what's next year?
Next year's.
Next year's.
so we can stay in Europe even longer.
Next year we're doing an Iceland cruise, and that'll be a big deal. Dave Cass said, bright side, if you do need repair on a vessel, you're in the good part of the world to do it.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You're right about that.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're we're 2 hours away from Kiel,
Uh-huh.
right? I'd give or take a few minutes.
And
We're
the
probably
same
40
Denmark.
minutes off of the coast of Denmark.
Yeah.
In
Probably-
an emergency,
Yeah.
vessels and or emergency boats can be out here very quickly.
Everywhere
So
we look, if there was any emergency, which there isn't, but if there was, there's vessels all over the place. Like I feel like on the Caribbean cruise, you don't see many cargo ships out there, but here it's like if you look out at a 360-degree look, you're going to see some sort of cargo ship or something.
cargo ferry ships are out
Ferries
here,
as
all
well,
kinds of
ferries.
stuff.
Like we just had a ferry. I looked it up online on the thing. Actually, it was going from Kiel to Gothenburg. So I guess they're going to beat us there. But
Yeah.
it was going there.
We could get on that ferry, Matthew.
that.
Robbie O'Malley, what's going on, brother? Hope he
Hey,
says, hope you
Robbie.
can continue your journey, Robbie. We hope so too. We'll see what happens. I mean, listen, our journey has been amazing so far.
Yeah.
We have been blessed, and it's been 10
every
fabulous days.
port has been amazing.
We'll see what happens now.
And we really have to think about it to try and think like what ports were our favorites or what we enjoyed the most. It's like, because everything was so great. I mean,
Yes.
there wasn't one
Joe-
day that we did anything bad about.
Joe Staccato makes a good comment. Well, that stinks. It'll all work out.
Yeah.
Until then, the bars are stocked. It looks like a whistle. It looks like it's a
Yeah.
whistle pig time. Well, when they did make the announcement, the captain came on to tell us what was going on. They did a follow up, and the cruise director Frankie, who's pretty awesome
Oh, yeah,
himself.
he
Great
is.
job by Frankie. He came on and said, "Yeah, guys. So in the meantime, while we're working this out, go ahead out, enjoy the nightlife, enjoy the shows, go out and have your normal fun." So nothing has been negatively affected as far as the
Yeah.
cruise at this time.
Yeah.
The cruise Vera was a 12-day cruise. We originated in Dover, England, in the UK, and we're heading back there in 2 days. So,
Well, hopefully.
so that is it. Hopefully. Jeff Kramer said you're sailing on the Ford Pinto of cruising. But listen, Jeff, as you know, when you get into those older engines, they're much simpler and easier to fix, right? That's my theory. So if there's anything wrong, it'll be a little bit easier to fix this ship than maybe one of those newest, hot rods going on out there.
Carnival Triumph.
I will say the ship, we love the ship. Well, all the Spirit class ships, we really like that class of ships. And we had been on all of them, and this was the last of the Spirit class ships for us to try out. And we love the Pride. Love it.
Yes, it's been great. Aaron and Todd, what's up, Arizona Love? Shout out to you guys going to Helsinki in August to get married. That's fantastic. Frankie is a really good cruise director. Eric Granger, you're right.
He is.
Hey, let us give you a quick look at
And,
what we're looking at. Can we show them what we're
Yeah,
looking at?
and
out here on
actually
water
all
real
the
quick?
staff on this cruise has been amazing. They have all been
It's been
so
fabulous.
nice,
All right,
yeah.
let us give you a quick look here at what we're looking at off of the balcony. We'll see if we can flip that around. Oh, there's Matthew right there. All right, I'm just going to lift this up a little bit. And Larry, no problem that you're late.
It is
You're never late.
gorgeous out here
Look, it is
at
beautiful.
night. The sunsets, the sunrises.
We had
they
a
have
really
been
good view of the
beautiful.
sunset, and then the ship decided to drift a little to the.
Yes,
drift a little
yeah,
bit.
because that's what we're doing is we're drifting. So you can see we're just sitting out here. There's no movement. We're just kind of parked out here.
But you can see land around as well. So
Yes.
the land that you're seeing is.
I don't know if you can see it
Denmark.
way out there. Good thing we got Matthew here. He has been our saving grace for getting around, getting us to places. He's been our live Google
Our
map,
If you
if
see
you
in the
will.
far distance, you actually see windmills that are in the water just off the coast, which is, I mean, we were shocked when we first saw them as we were starting to come through the Baltic Sea.
That's right.
They're like, I'm like, whoa, what are you seeing doing
But
here?
there you go. Yes, this is just a little look at our stuff. Oh, hi, Sharon. There's Sharon sitting right there. We just got the chairs parked here. A little bit of an extended balcony, so we're excited about that. But it's just beautiful out here. It's so peaceful and calm. And if there weren't this underlying issue of engine trouble, this would just be an amazing time to be sitting out here on the
I have enjoyed
balcony.
sitting on this balcony and just watching the ocean and out here. It has been,
It's been fabulous.
It's
Okay,
been
let me
great,
turn this
yeah.
back around again here.
and the weather's been pretty good. We had,
Pretty good.
we did have a
It's been
couple
insanely good.
bouts sort of rain, like when we were in Estonia. It was funny. It was
Okay.
it was the one day that we didn't bring our umbrellas or anything because we didn't think it was supposed to rain, and
Oh,
it
God.
hadn't rained. And the day before in Berlin, it was so hot, so we didn't bring anything. And then all of a sudden, it started raining. So there was a guy that came around, and he was like selling ponchos and umbrellas.
Oh,
We
yes.
bought a few.
This guy was so opportunistic.
And then, but it was funny. As soon as we purchased them and put them on, I had the umbrella up. Literally like 10 minutes later, the rain just completely stopped.
But-
Didn't rain the rest of the day.
But we did use those ponchos again.
But we did. So then when we were in
Yeah,
Stockholm,
Stockholm.
we had a lot of rain. That day
Yes.
was our worst rainy day, and so we did reuse them. But
Stephanie, we haven't noticed much panic or anxiety. I mean,
oh,
I think
goodness.
a majority of people probably barely noticed what happened, because they're just in the ship doing their thing. And they made one simple announcement. When we were at dinner, we noticed, usually there's like a little walkway around the back aft that we can see out the dining room windows. And you might see like one or two people come by. Well, probably while we were doing dinner, there's probably about 25 or 30 people that came around,
Mhm.
people looking over the back
Yeah.
after they heard that. Excuse me. But otherwise, I don't think people are that worried about it.
Yeah.
They're
I'd
just
say
going on
there
with
isn't
their
anything
business.
to really be worried about. Like
Oh.
at the very beginning when the ship was violently shaking and there was a bit of a, we're listening to one side a little bit at first. That's like
Yeah.
kind of like a, whoa, what's happening? But after you, like, if the ship's just kind of sitting there slowly moving, it's not like we're, going down.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
It's just more of curiosity. What's happening? How's this going to affect my cruise?
Yeah.
Rather than
You're
are we
totally
gonna,
right.
So. I
You're
think-
totally
Yeah.
right.
Let's see, Neil Drucker said, I believe it is 9:30 your time and still some light. Yes, it has not been getting dark until after 10 o'clock. And then towards the beginning of our cruise, it was probably 11 o'clock
Oh yeah,
before
like
it
when we
got
were in like
One-
Tallinn, Helsinki, Stockholm,
Yeah.
those nights.
sunrise
It was
is at
like
4.
probably 11 o'clock. Yeah,
Yeah.
11 o'clock at night, and we were just.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us, there's Matthew chiming in.
It was like 11 o'clock
He's
at night,
getting
and
in on
we could
the
still
action.
see light outside. It
Yeah.
was like
Yes, and then getting up in
Trying
the
to
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have not been able to figure out like a sunset
Yeah,
or a
it's
sunrise at
been
all.
really, really
It's
weird.
been a challenge.
Let's see, Terry Gaunt says, question, do you think the hotel prices in Port Canaveral are getting out of control?
No, not
well,
out of control. I wouldn't say out of control.
I would say just book early. Anytime you book a hotel these days, if you book it closer, if it's I guess a popular cruise port area, then especially the night before a cruise, the prices are going to be high. And with cruising picking up, the prices are going to probably go up on some of those popular hotels as well. So just book early for the best price, I would say.
Lisette Carraza. Hello, Lisette. Nice to see you here tonight. Said, I love to stop at Warnemünde, Germany. It was such a beautiful port. Hope you get to visit Sweden. It's really amazing. Well, we were in Stockholm
Yeah.
um,
And
yesterday.
yeah.
Yesterday or 2 days ago.
And that's one port I would say that I would love to go back to. Some of the ports, we saw enough where I felt satisfied, but Stockholm, I think one reason because it rained, it slowed us down a little. We got to see quite a bit, but we did get slowed down a little from the rain. But that I would love to go back
If I
there.
had to choose one port where we could have been able to see more, it would be Stockholm.
Yeah.
I think
I
for
agree.
sure.
I agree. The rain really slowed us down. What's up, Antonio Garcia? Nice to see you. Dave and Brandy, I want you guys to know that whatever happens to the Pride, it's not our fault. Okay, we took care of the spirit
We
for
know
you.
you love that
We
ship.
were on there with 80 people the week before you, and it was still there standing. There was plenty of parched pig beer, I think, left for you guys when you got there. So we are not responsible for any of this. Okay. Jeanette Greenhack, what's up? I am feeling better. Still have a little bit of a cough, and I've been trying to kick that, but I don't know the weather, the temperature. I don't know what it is, but it's still been lingering on me. Everything else feels great.
Yeah.
But that's just been driving me a little crazy. Brenda, what's up? Sailing Carnival Spirit, September 16. Oh, in September in 16 days. That is awesome.
Oh, it used to be 180. Oh, Terry said it. What used to be 189 is over 300. Yeah, that's
Terry, that's everything.
That's everything.
I mean,
Prices
that's everything.
everywhere.
Yeah, some things are
With everything.
fluctuating. Just look around. Maybe you have to take a step down in how many stars of a hotel you're used to going to and save a little bit of money. Or maybe check your credit cards for like certain discounts or something like that. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's definitely a hiccup, Diana, but we'll work through it. Dame Brandy won't hold it against us. Thank you, guys. Eric Granger finally pulled the trigger on Alaska cruise next summer on the Spirit. Any hotel recommendations for Seattle?
Oh gosh.
We had a good time with the Homewood Suites.
We love the Homeland Suites. There was a couple really close to the by Pike Place Market. that people stayed at. I'm trying to remember the names of them. Oh, I think the Mediterranean
I don't
Inn
know.
or something.
There
was
are
there.
100, so it
Yeah.
depends. If you want to be next to Pike Place and where all the action is, you're going to pay
You gotta pay more
$350
there.
for $450 a
Yeah.
night. You want to back off and get off a little bit off the beaten path, maybe you can do it for about half that.
That's
and still be close.
definitely another port where I'd say book your hotel very early. I know we booked ours really early and we got a decent price when
Mm.
we booked it. But the price had like doubled when it got closer to the cruise. So definitely book the Seattle hotels early because Alaska is very popular.
It's crazy how gorgeous it is out here right now and so calm and peaceful.
I know right now that we're
Yet
not moving.
there's
it's
an
just so
underlying
peaceful.
factor that we're having engine trouble and they're working on the engines and we're not going anywhere right now. We should be moving like bat out of heck to towards Sweden, towards Gothenburg right now, but we're going nowhere. Jim Packwood doing 10-day Alaska on the Miracle next June. That sounds like a
That'd be
good
nice.
time.
Yeah.
It's the journey, not the destination. I'll be on Carnival Conquest in 66 days. That's fantastic
Oh.
art. I see you, Mike and Rihanna, doing Paradise in 467 days. It's going to be our first cruise ever.
Oh,
That'll be a great adventure
yeah,
for you
you'll
guys.
love it.
Steven Z, what's up? The Skyway vlog was awesome. Thanks for the post. Oh, well, thank you very much. We realize that our journey towards this cruise started with driving and then flying to the East Coast and then coming out to here. And we're like, we hadn't put out a video after putting out a bunch of them in like 2.5 weeks.
Oh,
And
wait.
I'm just going to pull
Yeah.
some of the Skagway stuff off the laptop. I think I can get a video out of that and put something out because for crying out loud, it was crazy.
Yeah, we plan to do more editing, I think, on the trip, but it didn't work out as like we planned. I mean, it's just, it's hard when you're traveling and
When you're traveling,
Driving,
you're
flying.
traveling, you're doing all these new things. There's so much planning and research that goes into this Europe cruise that you really don't have to do when you're going to the Caribbean. The Caribbean, like whatever, oh, beach, let's go party, let's have fun. We're drinking, we're laughing, we're having a good time. But here you really need to do a lot of research because if you
Especially
screw
if you
something
want-
up,
yeah.
you're stuck in Europe.
well, especially if you want to do like things on your own, not take like a cruise ship excursion. I mean, and because a lot of things aren't English, so if you don't know how to speak the language, there are people that speak English in most of the ports,
I've gotten
but
more
they have-
English than I thought I would.
but they do have quite
There's
an
someone
accent and, and it's just a little harder. So you just,
Here's something funny. Almost every time we've gotten onto a bus in every one of the cities we've been into, we've encountered somebody who is bilingual. But almost every time we've gotten on a bus, it's been an older person. All right, I'm talking like maybe late 40s, 50s, that type of deal. But earlier today, we got on a bus and it was a younger guy. This guy was probably not even 30 years old. And we started talking a little English with him, but he was struggling a little bit to communicate. We were asking him if our tickets from earlier were still good now, or do we need to buy more? Right? Remember that when we got on that bus?
yeah.
So, but many people said that for such a long time, English was taught as a second language in so many of these countries. But that's a conversation for another day. Carla McClendon, what's going on?
Hi,
Love to see
Carla.
you.
Go take a lap and see what may or may not be open right
Yeah,
now.
go check it
Okay,
out.
okay.
That means Matthew's going to go see if the casino's open because he's been on hot fire. Heidi Leskin stayed at the Travel Lodge by the Space Needle. Basic and convenient. Sounds like a great choice. Bubba G, what's going on? So we don't know what happened to the end. And so let's recap a little bit if you missed it earlier. So you want to go over it? You want me to go over it or what's the best?
Well, basically, we heard kind of like felt like something, we hit something. We heard all this rumbling and grinding kind of underneath of, and like directly underneath of us because we're on the dining room. We're on the upper level of the dining room. So we're on deck 3. But it felt like it was just like right under us. And
Our table is put
tables,
up against
yeah.
a window in the app,
All the way in the app.
We're about 2 hours outside of leaving Germany, and we're 3/4 way through dinner, and everything's cool.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was like
that then all of a sudden
it was
things just
violent.
slowed down and stopped, and then we were floating, and then we did some turning, and it's just been off and on, starting and stopping a little, and doing like a 180 turn, I think, and now we're just completely stopped. So we're just waiting to hear what's going on, if they're going to be able to fix whatever the problem is, or if they're going to.
Yeah. I don't think we're moving
bring us
right
into
now.
another
If any,
port to
if
do the,
Matthew's been tracking the Marine
repairs.
Tracker. Matthew's been tracking the Marine Tracker website, seeing what we're doing. If you guys are on that too. You can see the pride. And I don't think we're doing anything. We're just sitting here. Earlier, we had the sun setting right here. Now the sun's like almost
Yeah.
on the other side of the ship. So we're just kind of
No,
floating and spinning right now.
Screen here a little bit better.
And we thought floating around in the ocean would be a great time to go live and talk to you guys. Yes, Heidi, I know cough drops have saved my life a few times. I was on the bus earlier today and I went into a little bit of, like your chest is a little scratchy and you give a cough and then you start coughing uncontrollably. Like it's like a 2-minute cough fest. And so I grabbed the cough drop and popped it, trying to be discreet because I didn't want anybody looking around like, oh my God, who's this sick guy?
Well, you don't feel like sick, and you just have that lingering.
Yeah, no, I feel
but-
totally fine. Yeah, Thomas Kuykendall said the same thing. Cruise cough is happening on mini cruises. It'll get you. Daniel Donnelly, what's going on out there? Nice to see you. KS, hello. Curtis Polk, sorry y'all have no knots. But look on the bright side. The current temperature in Phoenix is 111.
Oh yeah.
Angela said, sorry you're floating. Well, I guess it's better than sinking, right?
Yeah.
Mike and Rihanna, it was a 12-day cruise, and this is day 10. We're wrapping up day 10.
Yeah, we had a port day tomorrow, and then we had one more sea day scheduled, and then back in Dover the next day. So we'll
got a
see
quick
how
question.
the rest of the cruise pans out. If we end up with 2 sea days back in Dover, or we end up with more sea days before we make our way back to Dover, or how,
Yeah. Or do we need to start calling
But I really don't
airlines
think
and
we're going to
things
make
like
our
that?
port tomorrow since we're.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're
unless you never know,
about
I
2.5 hours delayed probably right
Yeah.
now. I think, are you guys seeing us okay? I think you're hearing us okay. We'd just love an update to see how the quality of this Wi-Fi is doing.
Someone
So far,
else,
the Wi-Fi on the Pride has been pretty
it's been
darn
really
good.
It has. Let's
Bob
see.
Newell, we're
Oh,
on the Carnival Pride. We are in the Baltic Sea, and we're
we just left Kiel,
somewhere between
Germany,
Kiel, Germany,
a few hours
Copenhagen, Denmark, and we were heading to
Gothenburg,
Gothenburg, Sweden, for a visit tomorrow. When all of a sudden the ship's kind of cocked out here. So glad you're doing this live today. Good to see you all having a great time. Minus the ship trouble.
Oh, what's that?
Oh,
Joachim
Joachim Asplund, cheers from Sweden.
Ah.
Hello, how are you doing?
Oh.
I hope we get to see you tomorrow, or be close to you tomorrow. Anyway. Greetings from Harmony of the Seas, Mark the Shark. What's going on? Hubby always has cough drops because of his BP medicine to make his throat scratchy. There you go, Jennifer Lynn. You're right about that. Obviously, you start coughing in a public place and you're like, no, it's not COVID. Don't worry. It's not that thing. Bob, the food has been freaking awesome.
Yeah, so they've had
Awesome.
the dining menus since it's a 12-day. There's been some other, we were curious what they were going to have on the other nights because we're used to the kind of standard 7-day menu. So they've had some different options, and they've all been really good. The one night we had several options, and they said it was off the Cucina del Capitano menu, which they don't have that specialty restaurant on the ship, but that particular menu that night was from that menu. But we've had several different things that I have not seen on Carnival ships in a long time. So I know they're bringing back some different items, and they all seem to be already on the Carnival Pride. My favorite was the cappuccino pie, which I used to love, and they brought that back. So I had that the other night. That's like right up there with creme brulee for me.
Start getting people excited. You start talking like that.
And then they brought back I guess it's not really called the midnight buffet anymore. It's the late night snack. So they had that on the ship the first night we got on. So
Yes.
they've been doing that. And
Oh, yeah,
I know
we should do a live stream from the midnight buffet.
and I know the first
If you
night
guys want to see
the
that at some point, we got 2 days left. Let us
the
know.
maitre d' had told us that it started, back on the Pride on the sailing, and they were slowly
They
implementing
started
it
it,
too.
and then John Heald mentioned it, and then I saw 19 videos on YouTube about it.
Yeah, and they were
on the
slowly
last day.
implementing it into the other ships,
Yes.
and it's pretty decent. I mean, the pizza is a different type of pizza than the Carnival pizza. It's a Chicago style, but it was good, and the chicken strips or tenders or whatever they called them, they were really good too. And, and then they have the hot dogs and all those other things. I'm not a big fan of that stuff, but I know a lot of people like them.
And they had a ham and cheese sandwich and meatball
That
sandwich.
was okay.
All right, hey, a couple questions really quick. Number one, hey, guys, listen, we do have engine power. What the captain has said is that we are having issues that are causing the ship not to be able to cruise at normal cruising speed, and they're looking into it. After the big whatever noise or a vibration, whatever we hit or whatever happened that blew up underneath the ship, as far as one of the thrusters or whatever getting loose, something's gone awry.
It was just kind of,
But
it
there
was
is still
weird.
full power, lights are on, everything's
Yeah.
cool, everything's fine, everything in the ship's operating as normal.
Yeah.
It was just an engine, a thruster,
Yeah.
whatever pod. I don't know what they're gonna see. So
Yeah, it was just kind of a weird feeling because it felt like where we were sitting in the dining room, it just literally felt like we just like hit something underground. There,
you know,
like
Eddie
hit something.
Moonshine coming in hot. He says you're gonna get towed somewhere so the ship can dry dock and assess the damage.
Yeah.
Eddie, you know, Eddie, we've always gotten great information from you, whether it was right before we got on the Panorama for that final cruise before the big sea came in, or whether it's now. So I'm gonna trust you.
I think that's what's going to happen, but I know they're assessing it, and I have a feeling while they're while they're assessing it, they're probably just trying to figure out what port they can get back to. You know, which one's going to let them come in,
Okay, hold on.
whether it's
Settle
Kiel
down.
or
We're
somewhere
on a live
else,
stream right now.
because we are pretty close to Copenhagen.
You want to say hi?
as
You
well.
say hi. Hey, you want to say hi to the girls? Here you go.
Hey,
There's
Callie,
Callie and Riley.
Sister Riley.
are there updates? Are
No,
we
we-
stopped?
We don't have any updates, and don't be coming out here and blowing up the live stream, girls, with any kooky antics.
Oh, we're going slow. huh?
We're not even going.
We're not going
We're not
anywhere.
going anywhere.
Okay. I'm not going to ask Carnival for credit for a free cruise.
No, these, I mean, well, I'm not gonna say these things
The
happen,
flux
but,
capacitor broke.
but you
Thank
know
you,
what?
Eddie.
Hey, hey, things happen,
Yes.
and
Mr. Bale, it's Carnival Pride, and the ship's been fantastic until the last 2 hours. I don't think it was sabotage.
yeah.
Well,
We're still gonna have fun. What's up, Scott McNeil? What's going on, dude? Nice to see you. Good to see you. Have we ever been on a cruise that had engine trouble before?
Not like this where it stopped. I think
Not
we've had
to this point, probably.
couple
This is
little
probably the most we've
issues
ever-
years ago,
ever
but
done.
not,
I will
not
say,
where it
just
stopped.
check downstairs. I think the show was just ending, so there was a lot of activity. So things on the ship are just perfect, are going normal.
Everything's normal on the ship.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's good news,
And
right?
then listen, it took a lot of strength to not deal into the roulette table when I walked by. I saw.
Matthew's been crushing it.
I
Good
saw
job,
the same,
Matthew.
the same dealer from yesterday.
Carly was
yeah.
on there?
She was on there.
Oh, boy, we'll get
Oh,
back into that.
we
We'll
might
get
all
back
have
to
to
that
get
later.
down
I
there.
can go right now.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, this live stream is taking a turn for chaos.
Yeah, we might have to head to the casino soon.
We'll see what happens. But I don't know. So it's very weird, right? We're like, listen, we want to do a live. The timing is so weird. The time difference. Up until the other day, we were actually 7 hours ahead of East Coast time. Now we're 6. After I think tomorrow
Oh, we
or
moved
the
our
next day,
clocks.
we're going to be back. We're just going to be 5 hours ahead
Yeah.
of East Coast time. But
No.
it makes things a little crazy.
Yeah, we moved our clocks ahead twice on the way. And
Yeah.
tomorrow we should turn them back. Or no, actually, I think it was supposed to be tonight we were supposed to turn back, but I don't know.
Stephen
We'll
Z,
see
I don't know if
what
it was the
happens
vacuum
with all that.
lines, the toilets are still working, there's no flooding or anything. Like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Scott McNeil said, "You're all good." All right, well, good. I'm going to hope that's just his assessment of our engine issues. I'm doing 32 days. Oh, Mr. Bale said, "Fun." I am doing it 32 days from. Hold on. You're doing the cruise in 32 days. Or you're doing a 32-day cruise. I'm not sure. Heidi Leskin, great question.
Oh, are y'all doing Greenland? No, we are not.
Not on this trip and not on a future
Well,
one right now.
No, I know Carnival House is up, I think in September or something like that. No, we didn't book that one. We're not doing that.
Turn that more in there.
It would be nice.
What else do we have to report? Okay, so bottom line, let's kind of put everything into a capsule. So right now we're still floating. Engines are not on. We are just out here spinning. What's up, Gina Bird, Gina Matt? Hope you guys are doing good.
Oh,
Gina,
Mr.
we're down
Paul
here in the middle of
said,
nowhere and nothing's working.
Let's see, 32 days.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
Seattle
what
to Melbourne, Australia. Oh, okay.
very cool.
Yeah,
That'll be amazing.
nice.
Eddie Lugo Studios, what's going on, buddy? How are you? I didn't do anything, I promise you. It was not my fault. I'm innocent. Lisa Russell, what's up? Lisa, we're in the middle of the Baltic. We are 2.5 hours probably away from Kiel, Germany. We are a little ways off the coast of Denmark. We were heading from Kiel to Gothenburg, Sweden for tomorrow's last port day. And all of a sudden, during dinner, there was a wild and crazy noise. Major aggressive shaking. It felt like we hit something or ran over something, kind of like as if it happened in your car. And then all of a sudden, since then, the ship has gone extremely slow. It tried to go faster, slowed back down again. It's done a couple of 180s. Now it's done a 360. And then we finally had the announcement from the boss man himself, from the captain, saying that the ship is having issues maintaining its cruising speed, and their technicians are looking at it right now, and they'll keep us updated. But please go out and enjoy your evening and your dinners and your shows and all that kind of stuff. So
Jim Benbrook says stay there. It's 110. Oh yeah, it's 110 at our house. Wow.
yes, out here it's gorgeous. I showed the picture a minute ago. We'll show it again as we're getting ready to get out of here in a moment or two. Dina, we hope we're on our way soon too. Maybe you're in over Noah's Ark. I don't know. It could have been Noah's Ark under there. We'll see. We shall see.
Iceberg.
I don't know if it was an iceberg. It's not that chilly out here.
No, it's been pretty. Even though we had rain a couple days, little rain. Weather-wise, it's been in the, I guess, low, maybe mid 70s, low 70s. But there's been a little humidity in the air, and it's been pretty comfortable the whole
Yeah.
trip. The rainy days it was a little cooler just because of the wind. But it's been really nice. And actually, Berlin, the day we were in Berlin, it was hot. It was literally hot. I think it was in the 80s.
Every
it
day
felt
has been
really
a day
warm.
where whatever we started the day with, we were wearing, we could layer down. We could take off a layer.
Yeah.
Be prepared. This has an excellent chance to become another poop cruise. Thank you, Salty Flight Deck. We've already thought of that. Okay. I will let you know that we have a balcony and we're on
Yeah.
deck 7. So I don't think we'll have a poop issue.
Yeah.
But thanks for bringing that up. Nothing wrong with getting a little poop commentary in the live stream. What's up, Z Show? Nice to see you. Let's see. Amy Tracy, we're on the Carnival Pride right now. Thank you, Gina. We hope we don't miss any future ports. But one thing, Gina, you and maybe Matt would appreciate this. You could share it with them that I found a new favorite beer on this cruise that is unbelievable. It's a German beer called a Polander. And today, I don't want to give too much away, but Matthew found the perfect place for us to eat that featured Polander beers. And it just made it a very special day after we had to make a lot of changes in our morning
Yeah.
and go to a major plan B. So, yeah, so far, listen, we're hoping it's nothing serious. I mean, you never know. I don't know what the status is. At one point after the whole issue, they did have the engines running, and we seem to be going at maybe a 12 knot clip or so. We were in the aft of the ship looking down, and we could see, we could see the wake. One wake was a little more than the other as far as, how much water it was moving and stuff. So we'll see what happens. Pam Hill said, glad you're safe. And when are you cruising into Galveston again?
Oh.
Anything lined up?
Right now, we don't have anything booked out of Galveston currently, but we will probably try to get on the Jubilee at, shortly after she comes out.
After she opens her doors. All right, listen, we're going to get out of here because we got to go see what the rest of the night brings. They haven't started passing out any red bags yet. Thanks, Tom. I don't know what that means, but it can't be
That's
good.
the poop bags.
Oh, my God. We're going to catch up with the kids because if you notice, they just came in here and they are full of energy and ready to go out on the
Well, I
ship.
think
I think there's a late night Lido
the
deck
girls
party,
are going to
so
the
we'll see.
80s rock and glow party tonight.
Yes,
And that's about ready to start.
they may need
Matthew wants to go
someone
to
to
the
look after them.
casino. And
You look after the girls. I'll look after Matthew in the casino. Is that cool? Is that a deal?
I might be in the casino too. I've been pretty lucky this cruise too. Well,
We-
not the
yes.
first half. The first half, I lost pretty much everything I put in the slot machines. And the second half, I've won back my.
You're up from where
Everything.
you started. Matthew's way up from where he started. I'm down from where I started,
Yeah.
but maybe it'll all level out when it's all
Yeah.
said and done. We'll see. All right, guys, so that's it. We're going to wrap this thing up. Thank you so much for joining us. Before you get out of here, throw a thumbs
Jim
up on the
said,
video if you wouldn't mind.
Jubilee January 6th. Let's go.
Jim, we're ready to go. We'll make it happen. Thank you, Eddie. We'll relax and enjoy yourself. Whatever we're doing, we will try to chill and have a good time. That's what we usually do.
Yeah.
We usually don't let anything get us down.
Yeah,
It
we're
has
having
to
a
be
great
really,
time.
really bad to mess with our heads.
And if we're at sea a day longer, or if we have to sit on the ship and miss a port, we'll be fine.
Yes, that's it.
We can always visit another time. It just gives us an excuse to go back and take another cruise.
But I will say I better stock up on some free beers out of the casino and just load them up
Oh,
in,
yeah.
in my ship.
Jamie
fridge.
did get enough. You played enough to
All
get
right,
free
don't talk about
drinks in the casino.
Don't talk about that. That's right. So anyway, so it's been a great time so far, and we continue to have a great time. And Eric thinks I'll smoke a cigar and drink a bourbon. I'll be fine. They do have plenty of Buffalo Trace on the ship. Dave and Randy, you might like to hear that if you're still out there as well. So let me give you guys one last view before we get out of here of what we're looking at here. It's still plenty light out here. Again, this is just the calm breeze. All right, in the
And it's almost
distance,
10
the sun
o'clock.
went down out there. Yes, it's like 10 o'clock here,
Almost, yeah.
and we're just chilling. We're just floating. Guys, just like the thumbnail said, we're having some engine issues, and we're just floating at sea. That's all. No clickbait over here, right, Sharon?
That's right.
Well, and maybe a hint every once in a while, but we'll try to keep it light. Anyway, it's been amazing. So, guys, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.
Yeah.
And we'll keep you posted if anything exciting happens,
Yeah,
and
just
we'll let
post
you know.
We'll post it in the cruise crew or put a little video clip in there with an update. And right now, I know next Monday we will not be live, but our next full live will be on July 31st. We'll be back home and we'll do a full review of
That's
this,
going to be
this
a
cruise.
massive breakdown.
Yeah.
And we'll have some videos coming out pretty shortly, probably a couple more Alaska, and then we'll get into all the Europe stuff as well. It's been a hoot. So from all of us here at Sharon Sea Travel, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll keep you posted on the ship. Or you can watch YouTube. Maybe somebody will start making videos about it. You never know. And until next time, from all of us here to all of you,
Happy cruising. We will see you soon.
we'll see you in the next video, guys.
There you go.
Thanks for watching. We love you. Bye-bye.